Hello, Beauty News family. Welcome to your favorite makeup chatting about twins. Yeah, we are wearing the same jumper. We have the same favorite things. We're also going to chat about some new makeup releases this month, as we do. But we're going to start with something that I think we both want to have a little bitch and complain about. Neither of us like it. We're both annoyed by it, and
so should
we are probably, yeah, everyone should be annoyed. Get your pitchforks out. Let's talk about what Real Techniques is bringing out. It's a piece of crap sponge. It's called the Makeupsaver sponge, and it looks like, look, I don't even know what it looks like, to be honest. It looks like it's giving me a headache.
Do you know what it looks like? It looks like that that Robbie Williams clip where he takes his skin off and dances around in just like the flesh underneath his skin. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
I'll give you that. Yeah, they really needed to not make this in like flesh tone brown.
I know.
Weird. It's really
any
gross.
colour really. Any colour would have been better than what they've done.
It looks like it could be an internal organ. It's really strange, but essentially what you've got is one of their makeup sponges with, it's cut in a way that has two flat sides, and on each side you've got a silicone overlay that is, it's an imprint to mimic fingerprints. Now, I don't know why they even, look, I assume they're just trying to do something different. It's not different though. Silicone sponges, like, their time has been and gone. And been and gone for a reason, you know. We had the silly sponge. I think that was the first one that we saw, which was literally just like a clear silicone patty cake. It was really weird. Then, you know, a lot of brands were bringing out their own versions of these. If you're thinking, hang on a minute, this one has fingerprint, fingerprint texture on it, so it makes it different. Not really. Smashbox released a silicone sponge that had these like, it was like a swirl sort of imprint pattern on it that was meant to mimic what it would look like if you're applying it with your fingertips. That was also a massive flop. And then we had the super sponge, which was a normal makeup sponge that was coated in silicone, and it was meant to be less absorbent. It's really late. Absorbent. Thank you. I'm like, absorbative is not the word. Don't say that one. Anyway, so we've seen it all before, and there's a reason why they didn't stick around. It's because they're kind of shit.
No one wants to apply their makeup with a shoe. It is what it is. It's like the sole of a fucking shoe. Flap,
it
flap,
is
flap,
like
flap.
slapper.
It's horrible. Look, I agree. I know what they're trying to do. We've seen this before. They're trying to make it out like it is sort of a new and different thing. For Real Techniques it is, and I think what they're just simply doing is taking trends from like 5 years ago and hoping that the new generation of makeup users haven't seen how much of a failure they were to then, you know, want to use and buy this and reinvigorate the brand. Because let's be real, Real Techniques is a brand that people are sort of forgetting about these days. Now, I just find that every claim of this can be like fought. So like saying that it doesn't absorb makeup. Yeah, well, so do your hands. They don't absorb makeup. They're also a lot easier to clean. And it's like, oh, it's a natural fingertip sort of application thing. Well, firstly, those ridges, not actually the best for makeup application. You actually want a smooth application. The reason why, you know, people don't mind using their fingertips is firstly because they can easily wash their hands, but also the warmth of their fingertips helps mix in and sort of helps the makeup apply nicely to your skin. So it's not actually the ridges that you want. Probably the best case scenario would be quite smooth application, like a sponge, just a normal sponge would work. So I feel like it's just gimmick upon gimmick. And if you read the comments, everyone just going, that makes no sense, that makes no sense, that makes no sense. And I I think this is going to be something that people are going to buy and try on TikTok, and then it's going to gather dust and it's going to be decluttered. Like, that's the cycle of these silicone sponges. They sound cool in theory, but just get a spatula out of your drawer and just put your makeup on with that and see how you like it. If you don't like it, just go back to what we were doing prior to this release, because it
brushes
is
and normal sponges and fingers. Just wash your hands.
Just wash your hands. You'll be right. Yep. Okay, we've got 2 collaborations, but we're not going to shed much light on these. Like, if you're interested, go for your life. We have from Glamlite. This is a Chucky collection, but it's Chucky Good Guys. So we saw the Bride of Chucky one for Halloween-ish time. Yep. They released heaps of like horror film related collaborations. This one is like the Good Guys one. So when Chucky wasn't evil and trying to kill people. I actually don't mind this. There is part of me that quite likes the nostalgia of this. Like, my sister was shit scared of Chucky, and it just makes me laugh to this very day. She just had her 40th birthday today. Happy birthday to my sister. But yeah, she used to be shit scared of Chucky. And so even if she saw this doll, she'd like lose her mind. So this is kind of fun for me. But at the same time, the makeup doesn't look that great, and whatever. If you're interested, go your good thing. Something that's very odd is this Tubbies collection. So this is from Glisten Cosmetics. So what they have here, they've got these little eyeliner palettes, and there's one for each character. These are actually kind of cute. They swatch, they look, oh look. I don't like these. I'm not a big Teletubbies fan. All of the packaging here is super chunky and like really bulky, but I actually like what's inside, if that makes sense. So in each of the character sort of eyeliner bundles, these are the sort of water activated cake liners. You get split pans, so you get a lot of shades, and then you get essentially 6 green shades in the green palette, 6 purple, 6 red and pink, 6 yellow. So you've got a lot. Like, if you like that color story, there's a lot. There's makeup bags, there's tote bags, there's a little sponge set, there's a mirror that looks like the sun, there's a highlighter in a excessively big packaging that drives me absolutely crazy, and there's also a brush set. So this, I don't know, I'm torn with this one because I just like how they've isolated the colors of the eyeliners. But beyond that, the bulk of this would drive me absolutely up the wall. If I had to take out that giant splat looking thing to put a highlighter on, I may as well just throw it out the window, because that's not happening. It's not going back in a drawer. It is too big and too bulky. So I have feelings about this. I'm sorry. It's late at night and I can't control myself.
Yeah, I can't get behind this either. Like, I remember when Teletubbies came out, I was in year 7. So, you know, I was already too old for Teletubbies, but I was exposed to it a lot because my sister had her first baby and he was really into Teletubbies. So, like, you know, I can look at it and be like, yeah, it's cute, and I have fond memories of Teletubbies, but also, like, the older I get, the more I fucking hate these weird collaboration makeup things. Like, I can't get behind it. And while I can see some cuteness in it and some functionality with some of the products, I'm also, like, I'd throw this in the bin if I had to choose.
Yeah, but I do agree with you. Like, there is something odd about making makeup. Like, I understand Chucky, like, it's a horror film. It's something that maybe you started watching when you were like a teenager or something, whatever it happens to be. Yeah. But Teletubbies is a kids show. It's like for babies. Adult makeup that is still being aired for kids. It's just a weird combination. I almost feel like I don't want to say it's like
Jared when he made that sex teddy bear collection.
Yeah, it's just odd. It shouldn't be a thing. Like, I don't want to see the Wiggles, like, lipsticks. To be, like, it's just not, it shouldn't be a thing. Yeah. It shouldn't, There is nostalgia, but there is also, just probably a little bit predatory nostalgia. It's weird.
It just doesn't feel quite right to me.
No,
I don't.
it does not feel right.
Let's talk about some eyeshadow palettes. There's a very big one that I want to talk about that I'm kind of interested in, but for the wrong reasons, and also it's not a big palette. It's a small one. It's from Natasha Denona. It's the Mini Rose eyeshadow palette. So this is a 5-pan mini palette from Natasha Denona. It's very like pink and rose and all that jazz. Now the problem with this palette is that 3 of the 5 shades are from an existing palette, the Midi Retro palette. So basically if you buy this, you're only getting 2 new shades, and it's probably fair to say you might be duping the shades if you also have the Mini Love palette or the Mini, was it Starlet palette? I think it was. Mm-hmm. I don't know. They're turning, it's becoming Pat McGrath. What's happening to the world? We're going backwards.
And the thing that's a bit annoying about this as well, I understand that these brands in this price point, they like to go for that sort of bridal, everyday, romantic look. I almost feel like there's more colours in the world than fucking dusty pink. Mm-hmm. Just putting it out there. There's more colours. You can get a little bit more inventive with the colour combinations, with the finishes.
Yeah.
Even if you want to stick to the same colour palette, there are multitudes of different finishes you can do. So this is just lazy.
It does. It feels lazy to me too.
I also think, okay, we've been on the scene for quite some time. I'm sure there are people that have come into the market now that have just started learning about Natasha Denona and are getting really excited for this release. And it have not even realised that this is like the 10th mini palette that looks like this. Like that's probably what she's relying on, is just the new people coming in. But I almost feel like this is when you see companies that do really shitty things and they're just like, let's see what we can get away with.
And I think what you said about, you know, the newer generation that are sort of just getting into makeup and all that stuff, but also like they don't have money. But they do not have money. No,
but like, neither do we.
I was going to say, neither do the homeowners.
I did have money, but then I bought too many Natasha Denona palettes, and now I don't have money.
That's correct.
So screw you.
Now I have no money. I don't know. I'm actually keen to hear what the audience thinks of this, whether you're also a bit like, this is pretty trashy, or if you don't really care. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I don't give a shit, because I won't think about this palette again once
until they release another one that looks the same.
Yeah, that's right. And then it'll all come flooding back, just a little bit more amplified in the rage. Yeah.
Something a little bit more interesting, and this came out right at the start of July, so it's fairly old now, but it is a new collection from Odens Eye. The main thing here is the Moon Wish palette. So it's a new 15 colour eyeshadow palette. It's got soft hues reminiscent of the night sky in blue purple tones. There's also blushes and highlighters. So we are lumping this in the eyeshadow category, even though there are other things as well. It's just because I feel like that's the main thing. It's very pretty. The swatches, they make this look very pretty. I don't want these colours, but I kind of want to play with it. So they're doing something right here.
My little magpie brain is like going off on these swatches. I think they've just made it look stunning. And you know where I actually think it looks the prettiest? On the deeper skin.
Yeah, I'm looking at that one too. It's gorgeous.
Oh my goodness.
But even
absolutely
that
beautiful.
Matte purple at the start, it looks velvety. I just want to touch it.
It does, doesn't it?
Oh,
yeah, I know. Yeah. The sparkly things in this collection, like the sparkly eyeshadows. I also think the blushes look really pretty. I like
want
the
Solar Eclipse.
But the highlighters too. Just beautiful.
Yeah, I'm big time digging really shimmery like blushes that are like highlighter blushes in one, and that's Solar Eclipse. Yeah. You're peachy, you're shimmery.
You're
I'm
beautiful.
tempted to place an order. Damn The
Yeah.
last eyeshadow related thing, there's a few things from Glaminatrix Cosmetics, which is an Australian brand. Firstly, they have new quads. So these are, you can buy them in quad packs or I think buy them individually. They're very pretty. I really like that greeny one. They've got some nice sort of, this is much more interesting than Natasha Denona. They've got some similar color stories, but the textures are bomb. But anyway, they got some new shades there. They are going to be re-releasing their Nocturnal palette. So this is one that's on the screen. This was out, I think it was a couple of years ago now, and they have now brought it out in their new smaller pan format. So it's coming back, but they're also giving us a hint that there's a new palette coming in August. I have it. I've seen it. It's very pretty. If we can talk about it by the time this is up, I will have photos on the screen. But some people will be looking forward to August. That's all I have to say because it's very pretty. So yeah, there's much more interesting stuff than Natasha Denona. Trust me.
Yeah,
trust me.
Absolutely.
And don't trust someone that says trust me. But it's late at night and I don't know what to do. I don't know what's happening with my life. Trust us. You can trust us. Sometimes.
Okay, we occasionally. All right, we've got some lip and cheek stuff to talk about. So there's a few brands that are releasing lip things or cheek things or both of the things. Yeah. So we're going to talk about them. I think we should start with the Makeup by Mario because this is summertime fun.
Yes.
In lip and cheek format. So what we've got are new shades of the Moisture Glow Plumping Lip Serum. So we've got 5 new shades and they look, you know, like I said, summertime fun, nice and bright. And then we've got new shades of the Soft Pop Plumping Blush Veil. So there's 4 shades here. You've got your pinks, your corals and your oranges. I'm loving orange blush. Like it took forever, but the days are upon us where brands are releasing actual orange blushes. Makes me very happy. These look nice. I think very appropriate for, you know, the summer season.
I love this swatch photo where they've been painted on the blushes and they almost look like a jelly texture. There's something about it,
don't they?
That I just want to play with it. And I also really dig this photo with this blonde model wearing the sort of sheer juicy lip with a bit of a tint of orange and then the little flush of orange on the cheeks. Yes, yes, yes to orange. Yeah, bring it on.
I love it too.
I'm digging this. I think this looks like a fun collection. Normally I've never tried a By Mario product.
Neither have I.
But I would get that orange.
I'm not opposed to it. No. But yeah.
Look, to be fair, the things that I've liked that I've been interested in, I've sort of found out about them when they were like old news and then it's sort of irrelevant or they've been discontinued or they're limited edition. So I just am not really, especially in the 2 years that we were off, I was like, I did not pay attention to By Mario. But that blush, it may be coming home with me and I'll be rocking it even though it's winter. And I have flaky, sad, dry skin that probably needs a grey mauve blush to mourn its life. But I'm just going to pretend it's summer and juicy.
Just like they say in Game of Thrones, winter is coming, you can also turn that around and you can say summer is coming. It's eventually going to rock up, all right? So it's never too late.
I'm going to look sunburnt.
Just don't give up hope.
In winter. This next one, it's cheeks, but it's bronzer. Who cares? I don't care, but By Terry might care.
Same shit, different day.
These are new Tea to Tan Sun Powders. There's 4 shades. They're expensive bronzers. What can I say? Natural matte finish. Yeah. Addictive fragrance. That sounds yuck. What is the fragrance?
That sounds like it's going to stink.
Coconut. It's probably some stinky coconut grossness. Skin fusing texture. It's vegan and it's bronzing and hydrating. Oh, it's going to have hyaluronic acid and it's going to dry my skin out.
Oh, that'll be like that By Terry hyaluronic acid powder, which dried the absolute shit out of my skin. I hated that powder. It was
powder.
It was terrible.
I would put it on a foundation, even a dewy foundation, and by the end of the day, it is literally flaking off my skin.
Flaking off, yeah, you can like dust it.
I don't actually think this has hyaluronic acid, but that still works. It still
Probably not.
stands
Yeah.
with the powder. It looks like they've got black tea and shea butter and cranberry oil.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like they've got, but still that sounds a bit...
Yeah. I don't know. They've just put 3 types of food in my bronzer. I don't really care for it. Like, I can just go to my pantry and get like the fucking cocoa and the tea and fucking shea butter from there. I don't... No, thank you.
I'll just eat it all.
No, thank you. Yeah, exactly. I prefer to bake a cake. Let's talk about Fenty. So not only have we seen some lipsticks from Fenty, we've seen lip liners as well. So the lipsticks are the Gloss Bomb Sticks. These are glossy, gorgeous, like stick lipsticks. And they've compared them to the Gloss Bomb in the tube. And they're basically saying it's like that but in a stick form. So if you love Fenty and the glossy lips, you've got some new options,
but with a little bit more pigment.
Yeah, a bit more pigmented. Then we have the traced out lip liners from Fenty. These come in 10 shades. Did Fenty have lip liners before this?
No, this is the one thing they didn't have, and there is a clip which I might put on the screen of it's the staff reading out comments of like abusing them for not having lip liners.
Oh, really?
It's quite funny.
For not having lip liners?
Yeah, so apparently it was, I don't know, blind spot in their, I don't know why they didn't have lip liners.
Stash of products.
Yeah,
I don't know. It just sort of occurred to me, like, you know, usually you would never get excited about lip liners, and not that this is exciting, but it's about time, Fenty. Where you been? What took you so long?
I think also because Fenty is a very sort of shade inclusive brand, and a technique that a lot of people with deeper skin tend to do to make a lot of lip colours work for them is actually use a darker lip liner. So it does feel like it was missing from their range. Like, not everyone obviously has to have lip liners in their range, but it's sort of, it sounded like that a lot of people use a lot of Fenty, but that's the one thing they're like, I have to go somewhere else because you don't have it. Yeah. So it does seem like it's taken a while.
While we're talking about Fenty, we do have another release. I'm just going to touch on it super quickly. It is the Butter Drop Hydrating Body Milk. So Fenty have had their body butters in the Butter Drop range for ages. They've brought out a body milk version in a pump bottle. So if you're keen on that, they've got it.
I just wanted to talk about this really quickly because it kind of looks cool, but it also is one of those things where cool in concept, but maybe horrible in reality. I don't know. It's up to you. You do you. It's up to you. But this is from Give Me Glow Cosmetics. So they have released Magic Slick Color Changing Lip Oils. Essentially, these are lip oils which with what looks like multichrome or like duochrome pigment in them. And so they have a sort of translucent jelly colored base. There's some color to them, but then they've got this like shifty shimmer.
It's essentially a shimmery lip gloss, which we've been seeing them since the dawn of time. And now they're using multichrome pigments. The problem is, like, these sort of pigments, they're usually in powder form. There may be liquid forms as well. I'm not an expert, but the problem is, like, as the oil and the balm or the gloss starts to like wear off your lips, this pigment is going to be left on there and she's going to look funky. I don't get it. I'm not interested in it.
Look,
I wouldn't wear it.
I think if you had a lip oil and you had a very subtle, shifty sort of color to it, fine.
Yeah.
This, I just can't think of a world where unless you're doing it for like shock value, everyone look at my lips, I can't think of a world where this will actually make your makeup look more flattering. And not all,
No.
makeup is an expression. It's not just about making your features look better and enhancing. But I just look at this sort of pinky one and on the deeper skin, and it just looks like shimmery lime lips.
Also, it's not technically colour changing.
No.
It's colour shifting.
Yes.
It's too late for this shit. I'm too old for this shit.
I'm definitely putting this in the basket of I'm too old for this shit. And I've been around where we've seen this kind of shit come and go.
You know what this makes me think of?
Yeah.
Like little kid makeup glosses. Yeah.
But they're probably more flattering.
Yeah, probably. Something that is probably a lot more flattering. This is from Hourglass. These are Unreal Liquid Blushes. Is this Hourglass's first liquid blush?
I think so,
I know they've had cream.
They've had cream in pans.
Yeah, and they've had powders. But I feel like this might be their first liquid. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Yes, definitely Unreal can. But it looks like there is, 7 shades? And they're very, these are very wearable, but they look beautiful on the skin. So I want one.
I want one, but I want a better shade range. I feel like this
range.
This is the pillow talk of the blushes. Like, I feel like this is so safe and so nude, and one slightly more terracotta, one slightly more pink, one slightly more beige, and you go, it's very boring. And I have some of those, but also lean into the trends. Like, read the room. People want some brighter colors and some corals and some oranges and some bright pinks. Like, I just feel like that might not be their. I'd say it's not their audience, but at the same time, it is their audience though, because the people that are buying the new stuff that's coming out is generally the people that are on top of the new makeup. But I don't know.
The thing about Hourglass is, like, whenever they release something, if you get in the comment section, there's so many people saying, but what about this? Or why didn't you do this? Or we want this, or whatever. And they always do this. For years they've been doing it. Just releasing these, like, sort of, not half-assed, but, like, small little capsule releases. And if they do well, they will add to the shade range down the track. But it just feels a bit... It's almost like they're dipping their toe into the water before they're just, like, taking the leap. Which means that they never really do anything that's super exciting or innovative or, like, feeling fresh.
Yeah.
I think the last time where Hourglass sort of took the beauty industry by storm was when they first released the ambient lighting powders, because there wasn't a whole lot on the market that was quite like that and quite as refined as that. But like those powders, that was a long time ago, and they still don't have a super inclusive shade range of those powders, like, even though people have been screaming for them for years. So I feel like this is very on brand for Hourglass.
Making safe, and offensive. Made by Mitchell have released new lipsticks. These are the Mattitude cream lipsticks. It comes in 12 shades. These are all variations of nude, but like very peachy, very beigey. A couple that look like concealer lips. I'm sort of... so concealer It's
lips.
Weird. There's a lot of like toffee, peachy. There's not many pink. It's a really interesting shade range, but it almost looks repetitive. This is odd.
Really, isn't it strange? Like, I'm just looking at the swatches across the 3 different skin tones, and something about it, I don't know what it is. It just looks bizarre to me. It looks very, like, I don't know, it just looks disjointed. Although it's not at all. Like, it's literally a concealer lip matte shade range.
But I'm looking at the swatches on the website, the lip swatches, and they all... Oh my God, Hayley, I've got to send you this.
Send me the link.
They're showing them on a lighter skin and then a deeper skin, and they all look really light and chalky on the deeper skin, but they've done a deeper lip line to sort of compensate. It's really weird.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't think I like it.
But also, like, Made by Mitchell has created a lot of base products that are super deep. Like, I've seen a lot on Instagram of, there's like a bronzer cream palette, blush palette, and they're like super deep and, you know, talking about being really inclusive and all shade range and everything. This is like having concealer lips for all shade ranges, but it looks like concealer lips on everyone. It is a weird shade range.
Why do all of these colours look the exact same when they're swatched? Oh, fucking hell.
I'm confused.
I hate it.
I hate it too.
I'm so confused. Yeah, this needs to be explained to me. Not really, you don't need to explain it to me. I don't like it. Are we ready for concealer lips to come back in fashion?
No. Burn it to the ground.
Yeah, I don't like it, but whatever floats your boat. Something I do like is from Ole Henriksen. Is that how
I think it's Ole Henriksen.
Ole Henriksen.
Ole Henriksen. It's late.
It's not what I said. I know it sounded like it. These are new shades of the Hydrating Peptide lip treatments.
So this is only one new shade or scent, creme brulee, which is arguably, I think, the prettiest shade there. But anyway, it looks nice and it looks like it would smell nice. I don't know if that's the case. I haven't tried these. I kind of want to. But it's pretty. Yum, yum.
They do.
In my tum.
They do say it's scented. So, like, I'm gonna... Where is Ole Henriksen sold in Australia?
Sephora.
Is it Sephora?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and remember to check that out when I go to Sephora next.
Shove it up my nose.
We have something super, super cute. This is from Starface. This is so dumb, but it's so cute. They've brought out these little lip balms with smiley faces on them. They're like stubby, chubby lip balms. And I love it. They mimic the Starface smiley face.
I've got a watermelon one, Hayley.
And I know. You've got starfruit, watermelon squeeze, very vanilla, magic mint. And I think that's all. Is that
want
correct?
them.
Yeah,
Yes,
I think I touched
I'll take
on all of them.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're really cute. I don't know if they're any good, and they're not coming out for ages. They won't be out until late August, but they're cute.
They are cute. We have some sneak peeks of YSL. So they're getting into the liquid blush trend. These are Make Me Blush. One looks white. What's the deal with that? Anyway, they're coming soon.
I think it's a super pale lavender. Yeah. There's some weird colours there.
There's some weird colours.
White and the, like, light apricot.
Yeah,
I don't know, it's weird.
The
but,
popsicle orange. Not
yeah,
my kind of
that's
orange. If I actually had to sum this episode up, or the last month up in releases, I would say powders are very popular for some reason. I love myself a powder, so I get it, but I also don't think they're very exciting. We have been seeing that trend of sort of like the pink and purple powders coming in, the brightening powders. I feel like every man and their dog is just jumping on the powder bandwagon at the moment. Maybe also because in the majority of the populated world, it is summer, so people need to blot, maybe. But I don't know why powders are that important. But Glamlite, they have released bake and set powders. Now, this is not a collaboration, but it is sort of a collaboration. This is weird. So there's 5 shades available. The pink one has strawberry shortcake on it. Is that a collaboration? I don't know. And then there is also a sort of vanilla one, which is a translucent. There's a banana cream pie, which is your banana powder. There's a chocolate cake one, which is a dark brown. And then there's a cookie dough, which is a lighter brown. They're only $15. I wonder how they smell. If it's a strawberry powder that smells nice, I might want to wear that every day.
If these are scented, I can get behind it. Look, it just makes me think of that sweet peach powder. Look, I don't care if it was trashy. I loved it. It was nice powder and smelt delicious. It tastes good too.
Unfortunately, look, from me having a quick look at the ingredients and more information, I don't see that they're scented. Which, you know, a lot of people would prefer that fragrance, unnecessary fragrance, not good for your skin.
Yeah.
But when you're getting ready in the morning and you want a bit of a pick-me-up and a bit of a, with some strawberry powder, just let me live my life, okay? I'm tired. It is what it is.
We've also got a fucking hell. We've got a powder from Liss. Or is it LYS? I don't know. I don't know.
I've got a foundation from them. I don't know. As a consumer of their products, which, mind you, their foundation,
I don't know.
It really fights with things. I think it's like silicone based. It just balls up my skincare, so it's a bit annoying. Powder.
Oh, we are struggling tonight. So this is a triple fix translucent loose setting powder. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. 3 shades.
7. You've
got like okay, good. 7. Oh yeah, I see. 7 shades. Actually, that's pretty good. I gotta give them that. Looks like they've got some pretty dark shades.
And they got a pink
as well, and they've got a pink. Yeah. So that's great.
For all the Rare Beauty fans, which I know they're out there because they buy a lot of stuff, there is a new powder. This is the True to Myself Tinted Pressed Finishing Powder. You can be true to yourself when you're not using powder, but there's 14 flexible shades created to cover a wide range of skin tones. Supposed to instantly blur, smooth, reduce shine, set makeup with a light buildable coverage and a natural finish. I think this is just one of those situations where she's filling in a gap. I do like the photo of the juxtaposition with the deeper shade and the lighter shade. I think that's a really good way
that too.
To show like the spectrum without I think it's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Looks good. Anyway.
I like the one where they've got them sort of laying down on their mirrors. It looks very like Art Deco decoration. I'm kind of digging it. Yeah. They also have a sponge. So there you go.
A puff.
All right. So from Too Faced, we have the Born This Way Soft Matte Powder. And then we have something that's even more interesting. By the way, it's a pressed version. We don't care. Who cares? I know this is meant to be about powder, but let's talk about these sparkly things.
Yeah, but these, remember how we saw that one a while ago? And I was like, I want to buy the bejesus out of it. That might have been Heart Eyes.
Yes. I believe it. Wasn't it when Too Faced were like, hey, we're going to release like random limited edition one-off things. And this was like, I feel like this was about 28 years ago, to be honest. No, it feels so long ago. Was it earlier this year?
Yeah, because this was like Beauty News 2.0, because I was like, I want that sparkly thing, but I don't need it. And you're like, is it a highlighter? It's nicer. I'm like, you can put it everywhere.
That's right. Oh, shit. Something's going on with me and time at the moment. It's just flying by, guys. I think I'm aging by the nanosecond. Look, they're bringing out new shades of that sparkly thing.
I'm excited.
I can't wait to see more pictures of them.
Yes, that's true. That's true. I'm only making haste because my battery's going to die soon and I've already had enough technical issues.
All right, let's do
in this episode. We don't need to have battery issues too. All right, let's get through some random stuff. Anastasia Beverly Hills, they have released 2 new shades of their shimmering body oil for summer. So we have a rose gold and a white. They just call it white. But their original one was like a gold color. So these are just variations of gold. It's out if you want it. Oh, we got some fragrance news. You've got a fragrance. I've got a fragrance to talk about. Let's both talk about fragrances.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
let's
Gucci have a new fragrance that is out in the US. I think it's coming out. It's a very summery sort of vibe. This is called Gucci Gorgeous Orchid. So it's the fourth one in this sort of Flora range. And what is interesting about it is it's very vanilla scented. So it's got vanilla orchid, vanilla and ozonic accord. Vanilla is very popular at the moment. So there you go. They're jumping on the vanilla bandwagon. Yeah. And I'm going to go get my snops on it soon. My cat just keeps running up and down. Hang on, I'm going to let her out.
We do have some new releases from Phlur as well. I think these are... I think Caramel Skin is an existing scent, but this is in the fragrance mist. So it's not technically a perfume. It's just kind of like think of it like a body mist. So we've got Caramel Skin and we've got Coconut Skin, which Kat would just gag at. But again, very like gourmand scents, which I think, like Kat mentioned, vanilla is popular at the moment, but I also feel like these sort of bakery and like edible scents are quite popular.
Yeah, very popular. Let's get on to nail polish. So Holo Taco are celebrating 5 years of the brand, and they've got a collection that is... Yeah, they're going. That makes me feel really old because I feel like they launched only last year. But they've got a new thermal collection to celebrate. So I think this is a limited edition collection. Check it out if you want to. I know people buy a lot of their stuff. And we've got one last thing. We're putting Kylie right down the bottom because she's boring.
Miss Kylie. She's released a skin tint. It's the Blurring Elixir. Comes in 24 shades. It looks like it's, it's a skin tint. That means it's quite sheer. So if you've got perfect skin, this will look great on you. And if you don't, it'll probably look shit and make you cry. But, Kylie Cosmetics still releasing makeup.
Yeah, there's actually a decent shade range in terms of like the depth though. And it's supposed to be non-greasy, non-oily, stays put without separating or going patchy, which I raise an eyebrow to because I have not met a foundation that doesn't go patchy on my skin. I tells you that. And it's supposed to be humidity, sweat proof, and last up to 12 hours. I feel like testing this out because I don't believe it. Yeah, fair. You know what else I think is interesting? A lot of skin tints are typically quite dewy and moisturizer like. So for them to say that it's not that, I feel like that's a little bit different. So maybe it does have a point of difference. It's suddenly just got a little bit more interesting. Mm-hmm. I'll see. I'll test it.
All right.
You won't survive this. Trust me.
All right, guys. That is it for us for beauty news this week, this month. I'm losing the plot. We need to go to bed. You should go to bed too. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Beauty News. If you did, give it a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Help us out. It's great. We love you. Let us know what your favourite release of the episode is or anything else you want to share. And we'll catch you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.